boils and ghouls. It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. And all through October, I'm welcoming you to the HomeBrew Podcast with your hosts, Kevin McDermott, Eric Alanice, and Chris Ruth. Enjoy, kiddies.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 9 of the HomeBrew Podcast with your hosts, Eric, me, Kevin, and Emily this week. We got a special guest up in here, which is Jake Gonzalez.
Howdy.
Say something, Jake.
Something. Howdy.
Okay, he said howdy. And we have the creeper. Oh, no, it's Emily. It's Emily.
Surprise!
She's still a creep.
Got you.
She's still
You
creepy.
had no idea.
It's like a Scooby-Doo episode gotten spoiled
Right?
too early.
We thought it was you the whole time. So, yeah, we're having some
thank you.
beers as usual.
Good
We're
old
drinking
Shiner.
some.
Oh God, my headphones.
We're doing shots and stuff as usual, per usual. Oh, these are twist offs. What's our beer of the evening
Twist
for
your
everyone who
face off.
is listening? It's
Shiner Buck.
And can I ask why we got Shiner Bock?
Because it's my favorite beer.
Okay, that's good enough answer for me.
Yeah.
Would you like to do a review on the beer, Eric?
Let's see.
Oh,
Here we go.
Eric is sipping the beer.
Tastes just like everything I like.
Yeah,
Like penis.
Oh my
we
God.
knew that.
Let's see.
It has a very IPA-ness taste to it, right?
Yeah. Very
Penis.
foreskinish.
Oh
I
no!
love it. I love it.
I forget we go there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We're not a PG-13
Yeah.
podcast.
If
Cool.
you don't like foreskins, then fuck you.
Yeah.
I would say
My grandfather had a foreskin 3 inches long. My great-grandfather was 5 inches. Come from a family of foreskins.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
those are 5 skins and 3 skins.
Shiner's just
Foreskin
really
and 7 years ago.
In Ireland,
Foreskins
in
and
Ireland they
skins.
call them potato skins.
Oh my God.
What a way to start the show. Drinking this beer, it's brewed in Texas, right? It's a Texas beer.
I don't think you have to give a description of Shiner Bock in Texas.
Dude. Anyways, I'm trying to put some meat on these bones here of the show, not of me. Well, I guess me too, but whatever.
Shiner always makes me think of bars because that's usually what I'll order at a bar that I've never been to. I'll just be like,
Your go-to?
give me a Shiner. I don't know.
Shiner's like very nostalgic. It was the beer that like I was raised on.
Yeah.
You know, when I started drinking at a decently young
I'm s-
age, and this is what it
Oh.
was.
It was.
I'm scared to
So-
ask what do you mean raised on.
He didn't
My
have-
mother fed me this in my bottles.
I didn't have
She
milk
just
as
put
a baby.
a little nipple on the
I
end.
had
Oh,
beer.
no, no.
I was like
sir.
15 when I really
I don't
started
remember
drinking
much
more. So
as an infant.
I was drunk the entire time.
Yeah, no, I went through a phase where I drank nothing but Shiner and Ziegenbock in my early 20s. So.
I mean, I would say
I like those Techies too.
10 out of 10 would drink.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Never gonna turn down a Shiner.
Never. Ever.
Never gonna turn down a Shiner. Never gonna turn down a Shiner.
Never gonna turn it down.
Plus, you
Okay.
can go to Plus, you can go
I
to the
killed it.
brewery. Like it's like 2 hours away or something
Yeah.
like
Is
that.
it really?
Mm-hmm.
2.5, but
Shiner.
who's counting?
So, guys, are you guys excited for... Wait, this is coming out on Halloween, right?
Yeah, this
Oh,
so,
this one.
Oh hell yeah!
is the Halloween episode.
if you're
This is
listening
it.
to this on the night we're releasing or the day, then it's Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy-
So,
Happy
I
Halloween.
hope everyone's sacrificed their goats and got enough blood for their seances and stuff.
Make sure you light a pumpkin. That's important.
Yeah.
The blood's more important. And it must be...
Make sure to put the pictures up on the
Love
Flanda.
on the brain.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Sorry, I burped. I had to like go on camera,
Halloween.
and I look back
Happy
and everyone's looking at me.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Mm.
I think it's the theme song from the Ubi Halloween.
Oh,
Have you guys
which
heard
is our
that?
movie of the night.
Oh, it could
Just-
be, dude.
That's the Adam Sandler one, right?
Yeah.
You just keep bringing that
Dude,
up.
I see it every day. I
I
can't
keep
help
trying
it.
I'm
to
not gonna
ignore its
lie.
existence.
It's
Happy Halloween.
it's a lot of fun.
Is it
It
really?
really
I
is,
haven't seen
yeah.
it. I just see snippets of it, and I'm like,
Like it
I don't
has
know
like
how I
some
feel
moments
about
where you're
that.
like, all right, come on. But I mean, for the most part, like it's just a fun like Halloween to watch.
There's not
Yeah.
fart jokes, are there?
I don't.
I just can't
I'm
do
pretty
that.
sure there's
No,
a
there's a-
fart
there's a
joke,
fart
yeah.
joke.
I
That's the
can't
thing.
stand that. I was in Hotel Transylvania. I loved Hotel Transylvania until
Me
there
too.
was a fart joke, and I was just like,
But I told my buddy, I
Don't
was
like
like, I guess, like, I didn't really think of it until I had a family. It's like when Halloween comes around, oh, what are we going to watch? And it's like, I can't watch Friday the 13th. I can't watch, even Gremlins is kind of like a little crazy, you know? Well, I don't know if that's Christmas or whatever, but even Beetlejuice drops like the F-bomb like once or twice or something.
Oh yeah.
it drops it once in one of the cuts.
Yeah, and which is the cut we had at Blockbuster because
I was gonna
I had
say.
it. I had it playing on the TVs, and he's like,
He
"What
says
the fuck?" or something.
nice fucking model, but
Yeah.
in the
I was like-
newer cut they cut
It's
it
not
out
there.
and he just looks back at the tree and then just looks and
But
he doesn't say anything.
With that being
Yeah.
said, there's
Yeah.
not enough family Halloween movies. So as cringy as Hoobie Halloween could be with its
Hocus
with its
Pocus.
jokes, one. Yeah, that's one. You
Yeah.
think we want to watch Hocus Pocus over and over and over and over? with
I
these
know
damn
I
kids?
do.
It's an
like-
option.
Hocus Pocus,
It's
Casper.
it's now an option. Yeah.
I was gonna say like I feel like every time they do like the 30 days
Halloween
of
Town.
Halloween, they're like Hocus Pocus is gonna be played like every night. Like there's I don't feel like there is enough.
I feel
because-
like it's like the same thing they do. Like you know how on Christmas, like they'll do. We're gonna
Christmas
show
Story?
Christmas Story like
Yeah.
all day long. That's what they
Mhm.
do with Hocus Pocus on
Yeah.
Halloween.
That's just,
Oh shit.
Do
But
we need
I,
a
you know, I'm not
Thanksgiving
complaining
movie?
either way about either of those. But
Thanksgiving.
okay.
oh,
I'm pretty sure and pretty confident that as bad as Hoobie Halloween is, it's going to become a Halloween classic because there's not enough. So it's like every Halloween, it's going to be like, man, what should we put on for the kids? We'll just put on that Adam Sandler movie. Well, it's kind of.
it has its little moments.
The
It really
kids think it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Trust me. My
Yeah.
son,
Mm.
he's watching me. He's like, Dad, did you watch that? That's so funny. Did you see how the way he fell off his bike and this and that? And like, or there's a part where he like drinks these eggs. He's like, protein. And he's like,
Yeah.
he's like Rocky Balboa style.
Yeah.
He's all that.
Joke's on you. I got the free breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he throws up right afterwards. My son's like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious!"
Yeah, it's definitely aimed for kids and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I've watched it like twice now because like I just need
Yeah.
something to put on to fall asleep to or something like that. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
it's-
good.
it's really,
Halloween
like,
movie.
it's
How
not
do you
like
do
something
that?
like-
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep to a movie I've never seen before.
No, because I watched it one time because I wanted to watch it.
Oh, okay. I
I
can't
had
do
to
that.
watch it.
Oh.
No, I didn't have to, but I wanted to.
It has to be a familiar movie for me.
Yeah, no, I didn't fall asleep to it the first time, but I definitely have fallen asleep.
I've
to
fallen
it since.
asleep to many movies that I've never seen.
That you've never
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah. Well, because I always start watching like if we end up watching a movie like 11:30 or something. Like finally we get down to watching it, and I'm just like, "It's good. Stay awake. No, don't do it." And I gotta finish it the next morning or when I have time later on. But
It's funny you say that because that's been me lately. My friends have been trying to get up and meet every week to watch Primal,
oh, okay.
that show Primal, and I've been there and I really like it. I saw the first season, I loved it. This new season, I think I'm only 2 or 3 episodes in because we try to watch it all together. But every time we do, I'm so just dead exhausted because it's like 11:30 or midnight, and I've been working since 4 or 5 in the morning. So I'm just there like, oh, this is so
Is
good.
that like a Nat Geo show?
No, it's a it's the I can't remember the guy's name. The same guy that did the last season of Samurai Jack.
Ooh, you've told me
Mhm.
about this before.
Yeah,
I
and it's
think.
incredible. It's basically it follows these 2 characters, Fang and Spear, I think is their names. They're not like
So it's an
officially
animated
called
show.
that. Yeah, it's kind of like an
Oh,
anime
yeah,
type
yeah.
thing. I wouldn't really officially characterize it
It's
as
on
that.
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
Adult
yeah, I
Swim.
was just saying if it's animated,
Need to
Yeah.
check it
like
out.
cartoon. Yeah.
It's like dinosaurs and stuff going
Mhm.
on. Okay.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I love it. It's one of those shows that does so much. There's not a single word of dialogue spoken, and there's so much
No shit.
story
It's
told.
like a Emily.
That's
thing
pretty
right
Yeah,
there.
it's all
Mhm.
screams and grunts. You know, these characters, they don't have vocals. It's like one of the main characters, a caveman, so he doesn't really have like a language, and he communicates with a dinosaur, and they're best friends. It sounds kind of interesting when I put it that way, but it's
Oh.
so good, and it's one of those
It's like
things that like
Barney
my
for
friend
adults.
kind of
It's like
forced me to watch, but I'm hooked. It's amazing.
But yet you fall asleep there every episode. so-
Yeah, I know. I'm there like stay awake,
Just
stay
at the time
awake.
of day, you're just like.
Mhm.
Yeah, the last like episode that we watched, actually, it was the second one of this new season. We were there, and it got really intense. And I just remember like trying to stay focused on it, and then it got wrapped up. My friend was like, "What'd you think? What'd you think?" And I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember anything of the last half of that episode. I was trying so hard to stay awake because I'm just exhausted.
Do you
lately.
are you a snorer or a moaner?
I'm a sleep talker.
A moaner?
Yeah,
In sleep?
I'm a fucking moaner, dude.
What?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I have never.
I've gone
I
to
had a buddy, I think that did
so
that.
many movies with Ashley or even like Chris or something, and I'll fall asleep and I'll be like, and I'll do it loud, and Ashley will like hit me and be like, dude, like you just moaned like really loud. What the fuck, dude?
What are you dreaming about?
When I used to go to Del Mar, I remember I'd fall asleep like this, and I would just be like, dude, and they'd be like, "Can someone wake him up?" They're like, "You must have had some really nice dream going on." I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
I was like, "Oh."
That's embarrassing.
I was like, "Let me guess, I was moaning." They're like, "Yeah." I don't want to know what you're dreaming about, but my entire life I've been made fun of that. Like if I have sleepovers,
Wow.
or I like go over to sleep at a friend's house or something when I was like 15 or 16. Like they'd all like be making fun of me the next morning because I'm just like,
Oh, Kevin can vouch for me. I'm a sleep talker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard stories
my
of you sleep
my little brother's
talking.
a sleep talker.
I just grind my teeth. Apparently, really bad.
I used to
Like-
sleepwalk when I was a child.
What?
Yeah, that's my mom has horror stories.
Do you
Sad.
do you sleepwalk when you're drunk, like drunk asleep?
Not that I know
You don't have to. Lie.
of. I truly don't know.
Chris, when we were growing up, I mean, I've known Chris since I was like fifth grade or younger than that.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, he's has a history of sleepwalking, and when we started drinking at like 15 or 16 years old or whatever, you know, with sneak bottles, whatever, he would always get up in the middle of the night, walk to his mom's closet, open it, and piss in it
What the fuck?
every single night. Yeah,
Every
Yes.
single night.
that we drank.
Why?
Oh, dude, get this. One time,
Every night at 1 o'clock in the morning.
we had a house party,
What?
and dude, I had probably like 10 people crash out in my room, maybe like 11 people. So there's
Oh
people
my
sprawled
God.
out all over the floor.
Popular.
3 people like on my bed. Like, dude, Chris wakes up and literally stands up in the middle of the room, takes like 2 steps, and just starts peeing on everyone.
Oh my god.
I woke
That's
up
awesome.
with someone going, "What
That's
the?"
awesome.
So I woke up because someone's like, "What the fuck is that?" Dude, what the fuck? And then I felt something like hitting my shins. I was like wearing shorts or something. Dude, what is that? I wake up and Chris is just like, everyone's like, ah! Like,
Oh no.
dude, there's like an other story that I don't even want to go there without his permission. But yeah, he can get pretty
I
bad
heard
with
this
his.
Oh
story.
my god.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard.
Oh
of it.
my God.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
so
a strange subconscious.
That's why I was asking
man.
if you do something similar.
He's like, no,
Definitely
no,
not,
nothing
no.
like
No.
that.
To clarify, we went on a camping trip, and
Mhm.
this dude was a straight up sleep talking. But in his defense, I was passing some gas that night.
Were you all sleeping in the same tent?
We had no. We were on our way back.
We had stopped off in Amarillo and
yeah.
stayed at Aaron's parents' place.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jake was sleep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I
he was
thought you were
sleep
talking about
talking.
Chris when we went
No,
camping.
no. I remember Chris though. I woke up because Chris was just hurling.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was just like, I woke up like, I blacked out first of all on your birthday camp trip.
Oh yeah.
I blacked out and I woke up because I just like it was the weirdest experience waking up to just like looking up at the
You're just
ceiling of
like-
the tent and I just see like the water because it was raining and I see like the water on the tent. I'm like, dude, where am I?
Oh,
Like, I had no idea where I was, how I
hate
got
that
there.
feeling.
I was so confused. I was like, what is this? And I just hear like, ugh, ugh. And I was just like, what is going on out
poor-
here?
Was it in the
Chris.
morning? Was the sun out
Yeah.
already?
The sun was not up yet, not fully up yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang, he's probably waking up all the other campers around.
Dude, all I heard was that hurling, and I was just like, "What is going on?" And I looked out the tent, and like, there's puke all over the outside. Like he
Oh,
made
no.
it. He made it to the outside of the tent, like just in time, and just like
Oh,
puked right there on the
man.
door.
Been there. Fuck.
You've been there on the podcast.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I've been there on the podcast.
Yep.
No one's
We've
saved
christened
here.
the
Yeah,
backyard.
actually, I think one of the first times that you kind of brought it up, like, hey, do you want to be on the show? I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And at the same time, I got really scared because every time that I heard y'all getting done with the show,
Oh,
everyone is just
yeah.
completely
We're trying to
trapped.
get better.
Someone usually throws up, but
Eight.
Yeah, we're trying to get better
Like,
here.
Aaron,
Me and
Aaron,
Kevin are like,
told me like I'm gonna be on the podcast. I was like, oh, have
Right.
fun.
Good luck. No.
yeah.
well, Aaron didn't throw up. He just screamed for
Aaron
food.
has a
Pizza.
horror story of his own. Yeah.
Pizza or something.
He
Yeah.
demanded pizza.
He was
Right, it was
cussing.
pizza, right?
Yeah, he
Oh
went
my
and was
God.
like, man.
My fucking pizza. That's the way that you tell it is just
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, that was me and him going back and forth the whole time. Apparently, I was yelling at him too.
Yeah, Kevin kept saying,
Oh, what's
"Shut
new?"
the fuck up."
What's new?
I was like,
Oh, I know.
I'm surprised y'all didn't play 10 seconds.
On the show,
just
No,
starts
my
like swinging
God.
over the
is that where they
table.
like make
Such a
out for
thing.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yes.
Like 10 seconds in heaven.
10 seconds. Can we make it 15?
That's 7 seconds in heaven, or
Yeah.
7 minutes in heaven.
No, we have 10 seconds in heaven.
That's enough. That's 9 seconds more than I need.
That's plenty of time.
That's 6.5 minutes more than Kevin needs.
Yeah. 10 seconds? 6.5 minutes more than I need? Am I in the negative over there? What's going on?
You don't even blink.
I
It's
know.
just,
I've broken the time-space continuum.
Then you're just like,
Oh, no.
just like a little. I twitch.
then you just feel disgusted. Get away from me. They're like,
Just know we love you, Aaron.
Oh, God.
Oh, my face hurts.
No, but I went on a camping trip with Aaron and Jake and Isaac, and we went on this camping trip to Colorado. But on the way back, we stopped in Amarillo, and we drank local beer, which is Lorelei.
Lorelai.
It was a Lorelei Mur dude. I'm lactose
That's what
intolerant.
Kevin had.
I
So
thought
Mur-
Lorelei
Murder-
was local to Corpus.
Yeah,
Me too.
No,
Yeah,
I'm saying
Mur-
local to here.
Oh,
We
okay,
took it
yeah.
up
Oh,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you
Okay.
took the pictures.
Yeah,
and
we're
then-
taking
yeah.
pictures up there. We took it up there, and we were drinking. On the way back, we were like, "What beer do we have left?" We were all trying to drink the last night, and we had the Lorelei Mur dude still. I'm lactose intolerant.
And it's a milk stout.
It's a milk stout,
Oh, okay.
and so this dude had to share a bed with me that night. And I'm over there,
so
like
sorry.
I chugged it, and then I'm like, we're sitting there talking, and I'm like, oh no, I don't feel.
Were you guys intense or what?
No, we had stayed at Aaron's parents' place.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it was
okay.
on the way back. We
On the
already
way
left
back.
Colorado. Yeah.
And so I'm like roommating with this dude over here, and I think I woke him up with my ass gas.
See, the way he tells the story, I'm just like.
Because if he started
I have no
Because he
talking,
fucking
started
idea.
talking in his sleep and it woke me up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" This dude.
But see, I like, being a sleeper, I say random shit in my
Yeah,
sleep.
he's just like, "I have things to tell you, but we're gonna talk about it later." And I was just like, "What do you mean?" And like he didn't answer back to. I was like, "Hey, Jake, what do you mean?"
Your anxiety's just like, hey, Jake, what?
Yeah, yeah. And then the whole time I'm like, "Oh man, this room smells. I'm so sorry, Jake." Like,
But see, the funny part about it is that he always tells it like that, like, "Oh, I was passing major gas." I had no fucking idea.
yeah.
I really
I'm
had no
surprised,
idea.
dude. I think I woke you up.
But I think the only time that I noticed when you pointed it out and you were like, I'm really sorry, and I was like, I don't notice anything, and then I rolled over to like actually go to sleep, and I pulled the covers over me for the most part. and
Dutch
I was
oven.
like, oh shit.
Jake didn't realize it, but the entire time he's having a dream that he's like swimming in shit. He's like,
Yeah.
God.
"Oh, it
Right.
stinks
He's like,
so
I got some-
bad."
I
I
got
have a
something
lot
to
of
tell you,
things to
Kevin.
tell you.
Yeah.
Kevin's like,
We'll talk about it later, though. I'm so sorry, though.
That was a
being
fun
said,
trip, by
yeah,
the way.
that
That was a good time.
Oh yeah, it was a bonding experience.
did you guys climb any mountains?
We did.
Did you?
We did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you
we
broke
went
back
all the
while
way
doing
to.
I didn't break my back. No.
Thank you, Emily.
Did
My-
you break your neck?
No, my back feels fine actually.
I was telling, I've been making fun of Kevin because Colorado is home of like 58 mountains that break the 14,000 foot elevation. They're called 14ers or whatever. So when me and Ash were going to Colorado, we're like, dude, let's fucking climb a 14er. I had a lot of friends who were like, don't do it. Like, you're coming from sea level. It takes like a week
Oh,
to
yeah.
acclimate.
Like
Because
nosebleeds and shit.
yeah, because we're from sea level. Colorado's already elevated a couple thousand feet or
Mhm.
whatever.
Oh yeah. When I lived there, I got
So,
nosebleeds like all the time.
Yeah, so
actually.
people were like, "Don't do it. It's gonna be very hard to breathe." We're like, "We're gonna fucking do it." Granted, it took us 11 hours to get to complete the hike.
But you did it.
From
yeah.
like first thing in the morning or what?
we woke up at 4 a.m. We got there
Oh
like
my God.
Nice.
we drove over there like so it took us 2 hours to get there. We got there like at 6, and by the time we finished, got back to the car, it was 6.
Dang.
Yeah.
So it took almost 12 hours.
66.
Yeah. So it's in Breckenridge in Colorado.
nice.
Yeah.
And you guys like finished it, like you
Yeah.
did it. Nice.
Yeah, we got pictures on top of the peak, dude. It was.
Remember
fucking
seeing the
nuts.
sign. You posted on the side.
Yeah, I don't look too happy. But I'm just like,
You're just like,
Well, you've got that Eric Alanis grin.
I-
Well, not grin, smirk.
yeah. Well,
Smirk.
I told Ashley when we got in the car, I was like, I'm glad we did this and everything, but I don't think I ever want to do this again.
I want to do it.
But
that sounds fun.
But like 3 days later, like after like we were more like not sore anymore, felt better. It's like, dude, that was badass. Okay, like when are we gonna do another one? So I think we got
Yeah.
over it. But when we got to the very like the last push of it, the last like quarter mile to get to the peak, it like becomes almost completely vertical to where you're like literally mountain climbing, and it's just so hard to breathe that we were taking like 10 steps
and then
sitting down,
like trying to
10
catch your
steps,
breath.
sitting down.
Oh my
dude. Yeah.
God.
It was pretty nuts, dude.
We had gone and started. We kept hearing the entire time on this hike that we were going on. Started off as just a regular hike, like, oh, you had to see this waterfall. That's somewhere up this, and we kept hearing like.
Oh no! Party foul!
Pretty far.
Was that in the Rocky Mountains?
That's gonna make it to the final cut. Oh yeah, so we can pick back up from you talking about Arapahoe Bay.
Arapahoe Bay, yeah, which was gorgeous. God, I just remember very specifically getting back from that hike and
Masturbating immediately.
Oh my goodness! Oh.
altitude sickness
It
hit
was
me
so
like
beautiful.
so hard.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, we had eaten dinner, and as I was eating, I could feel like it kind of kicking in. I didn't really know what it was. I was like, "Am I dying?"
Did you get headaches too? I heard.
Yeah,
headaches
massive
yeah.
headaches. We had just eaten dinner, and I remember like finishing my last bite and immediately like at the table, lying down on the bench and just like being there, and Kevin coming up like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No," and I didn't feel good, and so I just went to go sit in the car with the heat, and then Kevin was like, "Hey, like I want to go take some pictures by this little, I want to say it was a man-made lake."
It
that
was like
nearby.
there was like 2 lakes in that area.
Yeah.
There was one that was man-made and one that was not.
Yeah, and we went to the one that was man-made because it had the best view of the sunset, and he wanted to take pictures of the Lorelei beers all there together, and I was like, if I'm gonna suffer with a beautiful view, so I'll go.
There you go.
And so we went out there, and Kevin basically carried me out of the car to go lie by the water. It was,
Come on!
If I had died then, that would have been a beautiful moment. But
Oh.
either way, it was a beautiful
Was
moment.
Kevin carrying
Watching
you to
the
the lake?
sunset.
Yeah.
He's like, Kevin, old boy, I'm not gonna make it.
You're gonna live. You're gonna live.
Leave me.
Yeah, like stumped up against a log or something.
Literally,
Watching
yeah.
the
There was this
sunset.
little log just like right there, and I was just watching the sunset. And
So on to movies. About
Oh,
like
yes.
since it's Halloween, this is the Halloween episode. We're gonna talk some scary movies.
Okay.
Emily.
What?
it's your
Hello.
turn. No,
Okay.
I straight off the bat. I'm like, all right. So any scary movies
Don't
you
tell.
watched this week?
Not like outright scary movies. Last night I watched The Other Lamb. It's
I saw your Facebook.
yeah, it's a 2019 movie, and it's about this like cult. Like this guy has a cult of like these young women, and like he has wives and daughters, and he basically sleeps with all of them. It's really weird, but it's a really beautiful movie, and it's got very elegant like scenery, and it's got like those really 70s like those like slow like where it just kind of like pans in on something for like a really long time.
Just like the old school zooms.
Yeah, and then it has like those like fast zooms like Suspiria where it's like whoop, and it like goes across the whole field or something. It's really good though. That was a really good movie, but it's more like an uncomfortable movie. Like you're just like, ugh.
Dude, that's what I love about Lars von Trier. It's his filming style.
yeah.
Yes,
It's
it's
like
that's something I can
kind of like shake it
compare
and
it
zoom
to.
into it a whole bunch.
It's this fine line of tension that he just rides for so
Nymphomaniac.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the Nymphomaniac 1 and 2 were those movies where I felt like that. But yeah, I haven't really watched any other scary movies. I've been watching like those like
And
stupid.
it's freaking October, dude.
I know. Well, I mean, like I've been watching them, but like just the ones that everybody else is watching, like Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff like that.
There's
Speaking
nothing
of
wrong with
Halloween,
that.
they
Tis
just
the
dropped
season.
True.
the trailer for
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which was
Oh,
such a
yeah.
bittersweet thing because they dropped it and then they were like, we're releasing it a year after we're supposed to.
Dude,
Oof.
I know.
Big
At
oof.
first, I read it like October 2020. I was like, wait, what? And then like my eyes played tricks on me. I was like, oh, 21. I was like, fuck, gotta wait a whole year. I think Halloween. I guess not the remake or whatever. The last one. I feel like that's a remake, the way like all remakes should be. You know what I mean? They did it fucking awesome. They did it great.
It kind of cuts out every movie after the first one, right?
After
it only it ignores everything.
I thought it was after part 2.
No, it was after part 1 because the original part 2 was where they introduced the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers sibling. Story, and they completely ignored that in this one. So
yeah, that's right. A lot of people were pissed off about it, but I'm like, is that a bad thing? You know, like because I think it was after Halloween. When was Paul Rudd part 5?
Paul Rudd was part 6.
Part 6, okay, yeah, like around that area it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, part 6 was interesting because part 6.
This is like a cult, right?
Well, the whole thing behind it was they got part 6 made. They had a contest in a newspaper ad. And a fan won the contest, and he wrote the script for Halloween 6.
Oh, that makes sense.
That is why that happened.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun
really
facts.
random and interesting, but
yeah,
that's what happened.
Nice.
And we got Paul Rudd in a Halloween movie. It's a fun watch still.
It's like a lot of the backstory of Michael, like
they tried to like
black
explain
craft
him
shit, something going on or something like that.
Well, the whole thing that he was marked by the symbol of thorn. And because of that, he had to kill every member of his family in order to save the entire village. That type of thing. So that's why he was like in the original series, he was so like obsessed with killing Laurie because it was his sister. She was the last one that he had to take out.
Hey, well, whoever wrote it was like, this is gonna be fucking amazing. You know, so maybe the script was good. It's just I don't know. I feel like that era of Halloween like just kind of lost it. However, I do like. I do like the one where Laurie chops his head off at the end.
H2O.
Yeah, I like H2O.
H2O was so fun. It's so good.
That was a fun one.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
a good
one.
time.
My guilty pleasure is the one with Busta Rhymes. That was pretty cool.
Halloween
too.
Resurrection.
Yeah, Resurrection.
Is that the one where they're in the house?
Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing like a ghost show or something.
It's
like
a reality
that.
show.
A reality
they
show.
stay the night in the Myers house.
There you go. I remember that. That one was so bad. It was so good, so bad.
Yeah, but anyways, so the new trailer. Yeah.
I did recently watch Last Shift. I just remembered that.
Oh, I saw that when it was released.
That one was good. That was like surprisingly good.
Like
I didn't think it was gonna.
Like
it's this like chick cop, and like her dad was a cop, and he had died on duty or whatever. So she's got that trauma, you know how they usually do, and she's like stationed to watch over this like the old police station because the new one's already been built, but like the old one still has like some stuff going on. So she's like put over like overnight watch for it, like the graveyard shift, and then like all this weird shit starts happening, and like there was a cult that was killed by the cops there, and all this stuff, and it was really well done. It looked like it didn't have like a huge budget, and they still did really well, and I liked it a lot.
That one has a pretty big following too. Like a cult classic.
I missed the name. What was it called?
Last Shift.
Last Shift.
Yeah.
Was it on Netflix or something?
I think so. At least it used to be.
I think it's on the Poop Channel. The last shit.
The Last Shift.
What about you, Jake? What movies have you watched lately?
God, I'm busy so much. I haven't been able to really sit down and watch anything new, but I've been going and rewatching a bunch of the classics.
Nice.
So, Frankenstein is really near and dear to my heart.
The original?
The original.
Yes.
Boris Karloff. So
oh my God.
Colin Clive.
Yes.
And rewatched that. Night of the Living Dead, because I saw that they had a version of it in color on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
So
it's weird in color.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like I like it, but it's weird in color.
You can see like the low budgetness of it because they lit for black and white, so I mean it's difficult, but
bunch of zombies in pink. They're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't bother to change the color of the blood whenever the mom is getting stabbed, so it's still like this dark chocolate syrup looking stuff. But my all-time favorite horror movie ever is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes, thank you, sir. I bring up that movie almost every fucking time I'm on this podcast. I love oh man, yes.
Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad, like, I remember very specifically the first time I saw it, it was when Netflix still did DVD like
where they mailed it
deliveries.
out?
They mailed it out, but
Okay,
they were
Grandpa.
in
I'm
that
just
they were in that they were in that transition. I'm sorry to the Blockbuster
I'm
guys
like
here.
older than him.
A couple years. My dad like picked me up from school, and they were still doing like streaming certain movies on
Me and Eric were just like, "Oh,
the
yeah."
site, and then delivering other movies to your house. But my dad picked me up from school. It was sometime in October. We went back home, and he was like, "Hey, have you seen The Thing?" I was like, "No, I haven't." It was around the time that he knew I was starting to get more obsessed with horror, and
And how old were you?
I was like 11.
Yeah.
I was like 10, 11 years old.
Nice.
And so he took me back to the house, and then we put on The Thing because it was on Netflix streaming, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And he knew I was also obsessed with like special effects and makeup that works. So naturally, I fell in love with it. But over time, like, you know, I didn't have really a favorite horror movie for a while, and then after a while I was just kind of like, I went and rewatched it. I was like, this is so fucking good because it's so much more than just a regular gory splatter horror movie, and there's so much that you can kind of dig out of it, and I don't know, I
I
loved
love
it.
the ending too, where they're just like, now we wait.
Guess we just
We
see
just
what happens.
See what happens. Yep. Ugh. Let cliffhanger.
Yeah, when we had Gabby on here, that was her movie. So she talked about it for like 30 minutes. So if you just want to wrap that up, because we've done this before.
Oh, shit.
He did it.
I don't recall if we talked about this one with Gabby, but I remember Izzy T met John Carpenter, and he got me a signed poster for
Yeah.
John Carpenter. The Thing,
Dang.
yeah, hangs right there proudly in my room.
Dude, before
Good
John
boy,
Carpenter
Izzy.
died, I went to this con called...
John Carpenter's still alive.
I was like,
Oh, okay.
wait
No,
a
no, it
minute,
wasn't
did he
John
die? Because I'm gonna sell
Carpenter.
that thing now. Thanks, Izzy.
Oh
No,
my
I'm kidding.
Can someone knock on
No,
wood so
it's
he
a
doesn't die
mommy.
before this episode is
Oh,
posted?
shit. No. This is what I was thinking. Okay.
There's no wood.
Okay. No, in my head, I always feel like he's going to die.
Yo,
Because like all the
He's old.
classic...
Stop it.
Yeah.
Put
He's
those
old.
words
But,
back in your mouth, sir.
Check this out. I went to this con, and it was called Texas Evil or something. It was in San Antonio. It was like
I've heard of that.
they only had one, and then it just never did it again. But it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and what do you call it? They had a They Live poster signed by John Carpenter for $80, and I remember it was like 2 days after that Wes Craven died, and I was just like, dude,
Dang.
I was like, everyone's gonna be dying, and that poster when John Carpenter dies is probably gonna be like worth like $800. It's only $80, and it came framed, and it was like a 24 by 36.
Dang.
It was They Live. I was just like, man.
Man.
I think the reason I didn't buy it is because I didn't walk around. I didn't want to walk around with it.
That's fair.
But yeah, cons.
So
I miss
Izzy,
cons,
Izzy,
man.
I
Thank
really
you.
wish I had gone to Texas Fright Movie the year you went, because you went on a
Dude.
really good year.
Fuck yeah.
There's a lot of
Dude,
people
this,
that went
but this
there.
past year was supposed to be amazing too. Freaking
Oh, yeah.
David Cronenberg was supposed to be there.
Oh, God.
Freaking Lucky McKee was gonna be there.
Fucking
Dude, there was, I don't know. There's just
Fuck COVID.
what's her name? Emily something from Ginger Snaps.
Oh,
the-
I know who you're talking
Emily
about.
Perkins.
Emily Perkins.
God,
Yeah,
I
dude.
love Ginger Snaps. That's
Yeah,
such a
shoot,
good
dude, I was
movie.
so fucking happy. I was like, oh my god, because I've like ever since I saw Ginger Snaps, I like had this crush on Emily Perkins. So I was always watching her movies, and so when that got announced, Ashley was like, oh my god, guys, so they just announced. I was like, oh my god, I want to go buy my photo op. But yeah, so
My ex-boyfriend used to be obsessed with the girl that played.
Ginger.
No, it was from like Halloween. I want to say Halloween 2 or 3. The one with the little girl.
Oh, Laura, something.
She
Daniel.
Yeah,
Daniel
Daniel
Harris.
Harris.
Daniel Harris,
Daniel
yeah.
Harris. He was obsessed with Daniel Harris. Yeah.
She came out
that
in
was
part 4, by the way.
Yeah, she made a cameo. But
Damn.
yeah.
Jake's over here fact checking everybody. Like
He
just
knows
got
his
like he's
shit.
got
I was,
it. Yeah,
I know. I was gonna
knowledge.
say. I thought it was part 3, but no, that was Season of the Witch.
That was season 1. She came out officially in part 4, and then part 5. Her character, not her, came out in part 6,
Hey.
and then she made a cameo appearance as a
In
different
Halloween
character
2.
in Rob Zombie's Halloween's 1 and
What
2.
was the
1 and 2.
original name for Halloween?
Babysitter Murders.
Dang!
Off the top of his head, like he had
Dude,
that
he
shit
fucking
preloaded.
knows. Maybe he should be hosting this show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Emily, I think.
I know. I'm like, there I go.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
out.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing.
No, Jake's too busy. I have no life.
No, I mean, usually we talk
stuck
about
with me.
all kinds of films. So
Yeah.
it's just because it's October, so
Yeah. We got a
Try-
good
trying to
special
stick to
guest here.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Jake goes like this, and you see all these answers written on his arm. He's like,
Oh my god, right?
This whole
Well-
time, he knew what we were
Hold
going to
the
say.
key.
Speaking of horror movies, Eric, any movie you watched this week that was horror related for Halloween?
Oh shit, yeah. Well, I just happened to watch something the other day, and I was like, I'll talk about that, but I don't even remember what it was.
Damn it.
Been there.
Oh shit! Is my phone on the desk behind you? Let's see. Let me, because I don't remember what it's called, but let me pull it up really quick. But it was pretty cool.
I've been watching a bunch of Halloween anthologies. I love Halloween. Like,
Tales from the Dark Side.
yeah, like anything like that. Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Crypt.
Creep Show.
Yeah, Creep Show.
Oh,
yeah.
Tales from the Crypt? Wow, okay, that's cool. You know who did our introduction?
yes, yes.
John Cassier.
Oh, okay.
Love listening to Deeper.
Is this one The Curse of Audrey Earnshaw?
Oh, I've heard of that one. How was it?
Dude,
How was it? That looks.
It was pretty damn good. It was like The Witch, except I would say
Intriguing.
more
B-rated.
gory.
Oh.
Okay.
Actually, dude, it looked just as good as The Witch. Like the reason it reminded me of The Witch was the cinematography was on point, the color grading was on point. There's some pretty damn good performances in there. Maybe not as strong as The Witch, but it was very very similar as far as like timepiece. Well, the cool thing about it though, it was it takes place in a time to where it was like during World War II or something, but it's based loosely on this true story where this village it was like some like weird village out in the middle of nowhere, and they never really came to terms to what do you call it, like socialize with the rest of society. So despite that we already had like cars and all this stuff, like they still lived in this like little village just like The
Away
Witch.
from- yeah.
And they still had all those beliefs and everything. What do they call, like Protestants or something like that, you know?
Puritans.
Yeah, and so it's really cool because during the movie, like they're in horses, they're all dressed like in this, old school way, and then there's could be a part where you like see a plane fly by, but it's like one of those old school planes, and they just look at it, oh, look away,
And they're just like,
look
what the
away.
fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of
Man.
like a really cool little spin they did on it. But anyways, the movie I would give it like a 7 out of 10 because it was the story does kind of fall apart at some points and just kind of like, it was filmed really good performances. If you like The Witch, you'd like that one. Like a little bit more gore, a little bit more intensity, but
Probably like it then.
no naked old witches
Dang it.
dancing around. though.
Damn it. That's like my
See-
selling point, though.
That's what I was gonna say about that movie that I was talking about earlier, the Other Lamb. It's very like The Witch, so that you were saying, like the color grading, the everything like that. And there's even a scene where it has a naked woman walking in the woods.
God, they got that from The Witch.
Is it a naked old woman?
No, she's pretty hot.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Also
she
from
she
The
got
Witch,
booty.
I want to have a naked old woman walking in the woods.
Why?
Because that's my selling point. That's the only reason I watch old
That's his type.
movies, yeah.
He just wants to see that old booty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's
What about
well-
you, Kevin? Have you watched any movies?
I watched
No.
Hubie Halloween.
Oh.
No. No. Okay, so I will say that my favorite Halloween movie, which is probably not even a Halloween movie, but it takes place during Halloween time, is just the awkward-
Homebrew.
yeah.
I'll
That'll
do
be the
half a
teaser for
shot.
this one.
Right?
Where's my?
I'll do half.
I'll take
I don't
one.
know where my shot glass is at.
I killed it.
Oh, you dropped one, didn't you?
Wait, what's the movie? I need to know.
It's the Crow, isn't it?
It's the
It's
crow.
the Crow.
Yeah, fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. Yeah, that's it.
Halloween until mañana.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it takes place
fucking
on
love that
Devil's
movie.
Night, which is the
Devil's
night
Night.
before
Oh,
Halloween,
he's talking about the
which is technically yesterday. If we're playing this on tomorrow.
I thought Devil's Night was a night
Before Halloween,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. 'cause
If this comes
today's
out,
Halloween.
yeah, because today's Halloween, because it's the
Oh.
Halloween episode. This comes out on
And
Halloween.
nobody lit anything on fire. Disappointing.
Yeah. Thanks, Corpus.
We have a fireball
Thanks,
glass, though.
Corpus.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But we have a fireball
Wait,
glass.
where's
We're
my
about to
half
fire it
shot?
up.
Is this it?
I'm about to go light that.
Say it.
Do you wanna light it?
No. Oh no,
Oh
he
my
said it.
God.
Should I keep
He
that?
said-
I'm gonna keep it.
Oh.
he saw something else too the other day. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Watch out for the test cam
Oh, hold on.
or the Zoom.
You ready?
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Jaws.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh. Anyways, I digress.
That's the thing I would always look forward to. Like if I ever was on the show, I was like, they always have a different drink every time.
Oh.
I'm always very excited
It's
to try
usually
something.
it's usually like decent stuff, but
Yeah.
that just happened to be here from the other night. So.
Yeah.
You should have told me. I wanted to go get some. There's this brand of mead that I really like.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like mead.
Vikings.
I need
Yes.
that mead.
I do like the mead. Just because
I
it's
love
made
mead.
of honey. It's made
Yeah.
of honey.
Quote from the 13th Warrior.
I tell you about that.
13th Warrior, is that film from like the late 90s?
Late 90s with Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I
Yeah.
fucking love that movie. That's
The
one of my
soundtrack?
all-time favorites. Dude,
Is that the one where it's like a
Dude.
beast?
it's the
Yeah,
fireworm.
the
So it's-
the fireworm.
It's totally a
I thought it was like
ripoff
they made
of
it like
Beowulf.
a werewolf,
It
but
is.
it's not a werewolf.
It's
right?
actually
No.
it's a ripoff, but they actually took all like the inspiration.
All the
from-
inspiration was from
Oh,
Beowulf.
I'm thinking Brotherhood of
Yeah.
the Wolf.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
what
was
well,
it.
that's
But
a
it's
2000
really
movie.
good.
It is really good.
Yeah,
It's
There's
such
a
a
lot
fun
of
movie.
really good
Beowulf.
acting.
Yeah, 13th Warrior. I remember that one too.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I love it.
Shit,
And then
I was
when
like
the
freaking
showdown with
12
him and
when
that
that came out or
queen,
something.
and she's like, oh man,
Yeah.
so good.
No, everything about that movie is like super awesome. I remember Emily was like, "Hey, like let's like watch this movie or whatever." We did a little like COVID co-streaming thing while we watched it and like talked about it or whatever one
Oh,
time.
nice.
Um,
I just wanted to watch it. With
found
somebody.
out. Whoa. There's some noise. We found out. Fun fact that the guy who does, because Emily. One of the first things she said was like, "This sounds exactly like the soundtrack of The Mummy."
That's right. I was
Same
like,
dude.
Yes, it's the same
Oh,
guy
really?
that did the Mummy.
Yeah.
He's
Same.
like,
That's amazing.
change one
That's
key.
right.
Yeah.
Because in like one of the first scenes, whenever like those people are coming down,
Yeah.
like or whatever while they're traveling, yeah, I was like, man, this sounds like the Mummy, and I was like, let me just.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The one with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oof.
the
I would say The Mummy probably came out only like maybe 2 or 3 years after, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were all
not too
around the
long.
same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they probably use the same guy for a lot of these big budget films.
So the movie, the soundtrack sounded like almost exactly the
supposed
same.
to talk to people.
Yeah. So also though, fun fact, he did the Universal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Same
Oh, wow.
guy. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned Universal. I was about to bring this up. Is that if you watch the original Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., there's
love
the
that
scene
movie.
where he's walking around the village at night.
Mhm.
It's like boggy, like corners all moody and shit.
While he's the wolf. Or
no,
while
no, he's
the
human.
guy?
He's human.
Okay.
He's going to visit the love interest. Whose
Oh
name escapes
yeah,
me.
at her little shop.
Yeah, at her little
Yeah.
shop. So he's going and he's about. I think he's throwing rocks at her window. But when he's
Mhm.
walking around the corner, you hear this little motif playing on the soundtrack, and it's very, very similar to the 1989 Batman theme.
What? With the one that Danny Elfman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You hear that?
Oh shit!
And I
I need to
was-
rewatch them. I have all the classic monster movies, and I just haven't gotten around to watching them lately. But
Didn't Danny Elfman just drop something? Drop some fire?
I saw
did he?
something about
He
it.
released like his
Somebody on Instagram.
first single in like 30 years. Or
Yeah.
something.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
How have I not heard it yet?
This came out today. I think Jimmy Wilton shared it on Facebook.
God, did he?
Someone on my Instagram.
Sorry, Jimmy.
shared it. I'm not sure.
So
You're not paying attention to your stuff, Jimmy.
oh,
No.
I love.
Jimmy Wilton is my friend, collaborator, and business partner,
I don't.
Calling you out.
and I love him dearly.
I don't know Jimmy, but I want to know Jimmy because he
Does-
seems really cool.
Does he crack corn?
oh my god! Kill me, please.
Anyway-
Somebody take
Find out
me away
next
from
time.
here.
Find out right? What's that song that always plays that no, whatever.
Okay. All right.
Dude, if-
So, what was everybody's first horror movie that they can remember? Like, what's the first one that you remember? The first movie
Feel
that
like we've
you
done this
can.
before.
We talked
Did we
about
do
the
that?
first movie that scared us, but we don't remember that. We didn't talk about the first. Oh, we did.
What
didn't we?
last time
Gabby?
I think, yeah, it was Gabby, I think.
was it?
Well, we got two answers that we don't know. For mine was Nightmare on Elm Street. I talked about that.
Okay.
Y'all talk
You-
about yours.
Mine was Silver Bullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
the Stephen King one.
Yeah.
Right?
mhm.
So
Oh, with
two unanswered
Corey
questions.
Haim.
Yeah.
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 Yours? What's the first movie that you can remember? The first horror movie you can remember?
First horror movie I can remember.
That shook you.
I've gotten a lot of debate on this because the first horror movie that shook me to my core was The Exorcist.
Of course.
Okay.
But the first horror movie that I remember watching, and some people are like, I don't know if I count that, was Jaws.
That counts.
That counts. I would
I've
say.
had such
Dude,
back and forth on that.
You live in South Texas. It's a movie about a killer shark.
Yeah.
It counts, man. That's a horror movie. That's more horror. That's more like real than
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger.
So
That's Spielberg too, right?
Yeah.
Spielberg's blockbuster hit that made him
Oh,
Spielberg.
he fucking snuck on set to get that, right? Or some shit like that. Wasn't it Jaws or something?
to get that picture where he's like,
No,
Or
to
what?
get noticed to even direct Jaws.
Like he saw like
they
a
had
bacon
they
off
hadn't
of
started
it?
production yet. Spielberg was like had already done a couple features.
What was it? The one
prior.
where they let him shoot because he was sneaking. That's how apparently the story behind Spielberg is that he would sneak onto, what was it, like Warner Brothers or whatever set it was, like studios.
Universal was I
You know,
think. the
What it,
producing
yeah,
studio
and
on Jaws.
he would just always be around and somehow.
oh shit.
He was in The Offices. They had another director.
I've heard
lined
that. I've
up.
heard the whole story is full of shit though.
Well, there was
There's not,
another
like, a lot
director
of
lined up
fact to
to
it.
shoot Jaws, and they were in their meeting, and the director was there going, I can see it. I can just picture it. You know, that we have this shot of the water pushing in on the town, and this whale jumps out of the water, and it's beautiful and terrifying. And they're like, you mean the shark? He goes, no, I want a whale. And they fired him.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Dang.
Yeah. That'd be us.
Well,
Oh well.
Has anybody seen The Howling? The
Oh,
Howling
I love
movies?
The Howling with Dee Wallace.
Have you
Yeah.
seen any of the sequels?
No.
Okay,
I think it's
so
like part 6 is like
one-
my favorite.
Is that the Freaks one?
When they're at the circus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Oh,
was just
really?
about to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, this is a kind of interesting story. So, the first horror movie I can remember watching was that one.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one.
weirdly enough, I didn't know what that movie was for like 15 years because when I first saw it, it was on this blank videotape that wasn't labeled at my dad's house. I would go over to my dad's house on the
Recorded
weekend
it
when
off
I was a
HBO.
kid. Recorded off of something, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So I would watch it, but I had no idea what it was called because it would always start after the credits. I didn't know what it was. And then like years later, when I was like 20 years old, I was going through Netflix, just kind of scrolling through the horror movies, and I saw one, Howling 6, Freaks, and I was like, what is that? Why does that sound so familiar? Like that looks, I put it on, and like within the first 15 seconds, I was like, this is that movie. I thought that movie was lost forever, and that's actually I like that movie. Even
It's one of my favorite Howling sequels.
even like my standards today, I'm
It's a little low budget too. Yeah.
I know, but still, it's so good.
Well,
I like
it's where they did vampires versus werewolves, basically.
basically,
right?
yeah. And the vampire is like this fucking weird, like slick, like black skin. He kind of looks like Jeepers Creepers, honestly,
Oh, yeah.
a little bit. But that one and Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
And I know
Oh,
a lot of
nice.
people don't really think of Sleepy
That's
Hollow when they
Lubeski.
think of horror.
No,
But
I love Sleepy Hollow.
right, I love Sleepy Hollow. That movie scared me. Like as a kid, I was just like, "Ugh, I don't like the Headless Horseman. Like I didn't like the Ichabod Crane, even the cartoon. Like I was just like, I don't like
It was
that.
Tim Burton's first like real dive into something that was fully like a horror.
And Christina
movie.
Ricci.
That
I
was
mean, come on.
Emmanuel Lubezki too.
Yes, actually, there was a
Did
whole
Danny
article I was
Elfman
reading.
do the music for that too?
course.
Of
Oh,
course.
Danny Elfman did the music for every Tim Burton movie except Sweeney Todd.
I was gonna say Big
Yeah.
Eyes. Did he do it for Big Eyes?
Well, my fun facts might be outdated at this point, but I'm pretty
Wait, he
sure.
didn't do it for Sweeney Todd?
No,
No, he did
Really?
not.
no.
That sounds like he
They
would do
actually
it,
apparently
too.
had a fight apparently at the time.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
You know Helena Bonham Carter was pregnant during that movie?
yeah,
Mhm.
You can tell
by
during
her
during
titties.
yeah, yes, by her boobs. Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's some scenes where they're like, whoa, like
Yeah.
right touching her chin, and there's some where she's just like flat. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they shot out of sequence too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, apparently Danny Elfman had a fight with Tim Burton, and they had like this little falling out, and yeah, ended up having some other composer come in and do the music for Sweeney Todd. It's
Did you
weird,
know
right?
that Johnny Depp wanted to sing before Sweeney Todd, before any of that? He wanted to be in a musical,
Oh,
but
that
everybody told him that he was horrible, and they didn't want to put him in a musical until Tim Burton was like, nah, we gonna put you in a musical.
My boy.
Yeah, you're my
I
boy.
got
You're
you.
gonna sing, and he had a band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it the Hollywood Vampires?
I can't remember the
That's
name.
such a Johnny Depp
Hey,
name for a band.
You know, what's that kid from? Fuck, what's that movie called? Where the three kids are in high school. One of them has glasses. He has a fake ID.
Superbad.
Superbad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the kid from Superbad, what's his name?
Which
one?
one?
McLovin.
Yeah, McLovin. Okay.
Yeah.
He was in a band, and I played with him.
Oh.
Yeah, he played drums in this indie band, and my band played with him at Theo's.
Dang.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Was he? Did you get to like meet him or talk to him or anything?
Yeah, but he was like in his band mode. So he was. I was like, we had just got done playing, so I was like moving drums around. And he was like walking up stage. He was like, "Hey man, good show," and I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks, dude." And that was like,
Nice.
that was about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
But
Just leave it at that.
I remember we were working at Blockbuster at that time, and I don't think I was old enough to go to that show, man.
yeah, I remember that guy specifically
Holy
did not
shit.
want any of the venues.
The ancient times.
He did not want any of the venues marketing the fact that he was in that band because he didn't want
Oh, people coming.
just for him. So like a lot of the flyers you see, like his band name's on there, but they mention nothing about him being in the
That's
band.
good.
So
I wouldn't want
he was
that
like
either.
pretty adamant about
Yeah.
it, but still, I think they still did a flyer that. Because I mean, like the other bands want people to go, so hey, come on, you know. So I think someone ended up making a flyer that notated, hey,
McLovin.
McLovin from whatever his band or whatever. So, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every
crazy.
band that on that tour probably did that because it's like it's gonna
Right.
be a sold out show, which I think it was a sold out show too. So.
Yeah.
It's so weird getting to like work with someone of notoriety. You know, like the second feature I worked on, we had 2 members from the original cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Nice.
which was like very, and they weren't like big parts, but it was just like
They were there.
Ed Gein,
Ed Gwynn.
Gwyn, yeah.
Gwynn is the serial killer.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Duh.
Gwynn
I was
is
sitting
the
here like,
actor.
wait, Ed Gein, why does that ring a bell?
Ed Gwynn was the cattle truck driver in the yellow shirt that threw the wrench at Leatherface when he
Yeah,
falls and cuts his leg.
When I went to that con, the one I was talking about earlier, Sal, I remember Sal was there, and I
Mm.
said hi to him, and he was like at that table where it was Ed Gwynn,
Ed-
and then there was another person there too. I can't remember, but he was like their manager or something, right?
Yeah, he managed quite a few of the cast, except for Gunnar Hansen and her name is escaping right now. The lead girl. Just, can't believe I'm blanking out of the name. Yeah, but
Final girl.
yeah, I got to meet most of them. In fact, I have Ed's number on my phone, which is really always funny to say. I don't even know if it's the same number anymore, but he was such a nice guy. And
Should
like,
send him a dick pic.
Dude,
Yeah.
text him right now and be
Probably.
like, hey,
Hey, what's
love
up?
you,
hey
baby.
man, he's probably, it's 9:30, he's probably asleep. But like he was such a nice guy, and like getting to work with him was really weird because he would just like we would be there and he would just stop and be like, you know, this one time on Chainsaw, and we were like, like just looking at him like,
Dropping that little name drop right
"Oh,
there.
don't flex at all, but continue.
Yeah. He didn't even call it Texas Chainsaw. He's like, this one time on Chainsaw. And
Oh, okay.
This is when I was like, holy shit, was when he was like, yeah, me and Toby, and I was like,
Yeah. First name basis over
first
here.
name basis,
Hey,
not
Me and my
Hooper.
boy Toby.
Speaking of Halloween and scary movies, for the longest time, I always thought that Poltergeist was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Produced
Yeah, but it's directed by Toby
Toby
Hooper.
Hooper. Yeah.
And there's this like ongoing story in Hollywood that like, oh, Spielberg pretty much directed that. But I was watching this documentary or something the other night, and they were like, that's full of shit. I was on set. Toby Hooper's the one that directed it. If you watch any like the produced movies by Spielberg, you know, of course they're going to have that Spielberg-esque to it, you know,
But that's why, like, you know, they have that Spielberg vibe, is because he was the one that got it all together. So it's something that worked out in his favor because he was like, I know this is gonna kind of work in my realm.
But yeah, I was this guy. I can't remember who it was, but in this documentary, he's like, dude, but that was all fucking Toby Hooper. That's like his movie. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of people just. I used to associate with Spielberg for the longest time, but that happens a lot of times with movies. There's a movie that's coming out, and instead of saying the director, it'll say produced by James Wan. Or
Yeah.
Because they
fucking-
want that name to
They
be
want
the
that name to be
catcher.
assigned.
So
Right
people
now-
are like, oh, so and so's directing this new movie, and I'm like, no,
Wait,
they're
yeah.
producing
so-
it.
Right now, can anyone tell me who directed Nightmare Before Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
it wasn't Tim Burton.
It wasn't Tim Burton. I know
Everyone
that.
says Tim Burton's the
No,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
he-
no,
no.
he wrote
Produced
he wrote the poem. That was it.
I don't know who directed it. Who
See?
directed it? Do you know?
No.
Oh shit.
No one
I
knows.
used to know his name, and I feel very ashamed
Yeah.
because
He
that's one of my
didn't,
favorite animated movies of all
It's
time.
not
So
Tim
wanna
It's not
be
Tim
like,
Burton's
hey,
movie.
Yeah, and there's another one
Who
called
directed
Nine
Nightmare Before
that a lot of
Christmas?
people think that's Tim Burton, and that's not Tim
Hey,
Burton
Siri.
either.
It's not Tim
not.
Burton.
Hey Siri. Is it gonna work? Who directed Nightmare Before Christmas?
The Nightmare Before Christmas was directed by Henry Selick.
Henry Selick.
Henry
you go.
Selick
Henry
is
Selick.
the
It's that name that's
director.
right on the top of your tip
Tom
of your tongue.
Selleck's brother.
Yeah, right.
What's
Same
everybody's favorite Spielberg movie?
Oh fuck.
Indiana
Favorite
Jones.
Spielberg directed?
Indiana Jones? Yeah, director.
Director.
AI's got to be up there somewhere.
Oh, my heart.
I'll go with Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Mine's Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
I will say Jurassic Park is the movie that like. So right when theaters were starting to open again,
Mm-hmm.
there was this like this moment where they had all these classic movies playing because they weren't playing any new movies yet.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park was one of them, and I knew.
You
I
went
just
and saw it?
No, I didn't get to. I saw
Aw.
Scream instead, which was
Still
I
great.
regret nothing. Scream is the movie that got me wanting to make movies, so I was like,
Nice.
that's it.
Nice.
But whenever we considered right after Scream going to see Jurassic Park, and I knew that if we sat down and watched Jurassic Park on the big screen in an environment like that, I would have cried.
Oh, I bet.
I saw
Like,
Jurassic
it's-
Park in theaters.
Dude, Jurassic Park is
It's
like,
like my
one
whole
of my
family.
favorite
I was
movies.
born a couple years too late.
I love that movie. I've fallen asleep to
That
that
was
movie. I don't
probably
know how
like,
many times.
What year did Jurassic Park come out? 94?
93.
That was pretty
Three.
young, yeah.
93?
But
93.
I remember my
93,
dad was like
94.
super
Yeah.
excited.
Oh.
Got
Even-
it.
and
You know what? I
Family
actually
tickets.
like the sequels too. The second and third
Mhm.
Jurassic Park
Lost
too.
I see. I
World.
saw
Yeah,
Jurassic
I
Park
like
3 in
those too.
theaters.
The one where they fall in the trailer that's like falling off of the cliff.
That's Lost World Part 2.
That's the second one, or is that the third one?
Second one.
Yeah.
I love that, and they fall on like the glass, and she's like, ah, and it's
I
all
think I
cracking.
saw. I remember like
baby
before,
fucking
like-
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
before like the internet when you would like be sitting there
Before
and you
the
would be like
internet?
watching TV and all of a sudden like the fucking trailer would pop up for a movie and you're like, oh my god.
man.
I remember like it was yesterday when the trailer for part 3 of Jurassic Park popped up and like
I
they were
love it
like
so much.
like they didn't tease they showed all the dinosaurs and stuff and at the very end they're like are like kind of in the beginning it's like a black screen and they're like Dr. Grant and I was just like boom my mind blew and I was like
Dang.
yeah like they're bringing Dr. Grant back
All
motherfuckers.
pumped.
Yeah, I was so
Sam
pumped.
motherfucking Neil.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, I don't know, I was like probably 11 or something like that when that one came out. But I was like, man, I was so pumped
Jurassic
up.
Park 3.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park is a very, very well-rounded
Maybe.
movie, honestly. Oh yeah, your question.
Oh yeah, so Jake has a question.
Jake has a question.
Apparently.
Jake
I mean,
has a question.
So I met all three of y'all through like the local filmmaking scene,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
and I wanted to know what was essentially your start. What was like even before you were ever even on a set where you decided, you know, I want to do this. I want to like try this on for size. You didn't have to know if this was like gonna be the thing you were gonna follow in your career path, but just something that like you're just like, I want to do that.
Okay. So no shit. Like I was living in New York, and at the time I was living in Tonawanda, New York, which is close to Buffalo, but it's about 30 minutes away. So just time framing it, I wasn't even in first grade yet.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember I was watching. I want to say it was Liar Liar, and I was sitting there quoting the movie the whole time with my dad. It was a Jim Carrey movie. Oh my god, Emily, you didn't finish that shot.
No, fill it up, and then I'll do it.
Proud of you.
I'm
Well, I'll do
pacing
another shot.
myself, okay?
Um,
Sneaky.
yeah, it was a Jim Carrey movie I was watching on TV, and I was quoting it the entire time, and my dad was laughing that I was quoting it. I remember like it was yesterday, and I was just like, Dad, I want to make movies, and he said, you can do that, and that was it. I wasn't
beautiful.
Nice.
I wasn't
That's
even first grade or
poetic.
anything. Yeah,
That is really.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, we're really doing this.
And from then on, I remember every time like growing up, I was just like, I should be a firefighter, and I was like, no, Dad told me I could make movies. Like I'm gonna make movies, and like growing up the entire time in my head, I never had it in my head that I couldn't make movies.
Yeah, one of the first things
Man.
Kevin ever told me when we first met was that he was going to make movies,
that
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
and I was like, "That's cool."
I could
I was like, "I like photography."
Another thing like going in is I was like, what still gets me to this day is that I was fans of all of y'all before we really became friends. Like, can Shut up, sorry. It kind of gets me sometimes. Like I remember meeting like
I feel
you for the
that
first
so
time and just kind
hard.
of being like,
Aw, guys.
"Are you Kevin?"
Aw,
And,
that's
like,
how I feel.
like meeting the two of you. Well, like I mean, when I met you on that music video, it was just like we hadn't known each other yet. But then after
Yeah.
that, it was you were like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "Me?"
Yeah. Just like looking around me.
Yeah,
That's how I
literally.
was
and
with
then
these
meeting
guys,
you at
man.
House of Rock that one time.
Yeah.
I think it
Oh,
was
yeah.
for a 7-day event,
Oh yeah.
and you were
yeah.
like, "Hey, what's up?" I was like, "You're Eric Alanis."
Oh man.
The
I was
Eric
freaking out.
Alanis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
weird when people tell me that, like, because before I did anything regarding movies or anything, I was doing photography. So when people would do that every now and then, like other photographers, I love your work, this and that. I'm like, oh, thanks. I don't know what to say, but appreciate it.
I'm a little bitch. I'm sorry.
I think one of the first times that I hung out, oh, I already took my. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I know you didn't wait
Oh,
for
okay.
us.
Oh, I thought they were just casual shots. But
Is there such a thing?
casual shots?
I remember watching. I mean, obviously, I've always loved movies. Always watched movies.
Dude, I feel like.
Oh.
Am I in frame? Like,
Yeah,
if I'm
you
like
are.
right here? Is that weird if it's just half my
You
head?
think
You're
you
not
should be
cropping
more
this, are you?
in?
Like lean in.
You're not cropping this, are you?
You can't like scoot more
I feel like
in.
awkward.
There you
Like
go.
scoot more in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be more in. There you go.
That's
there
sexy.
You
Ah, there we go.
Oh, look at that.
But no, I remember as a kid just watching movies. I watched Legend a lot. As a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched Legend a lot, and I remember seeing. What's her name? What's the actress's name that's
I
in
don't
there? She was in
remember.
Ferris Bueller as
Yeah.
well. I don't know what her name is, but I
She
remember.
plays Sloane or something like that.
Yeah,
Ferris Bueller-
Sloane.
Ferris Bueller?
I love that name. That's so hot.
Lily.
But I remember seeing her in that movie and just being like, man, I remember being like 8, 9 years old and being able to understand she's acting, but she's doing it so well. And I was like, man, she's really good. Like she's crying. Like
Oh,
I like this. I want to do this.
The whole scene
like
where she's like apologizing for touching the unicorn. She's
Yes.
like, "Oh my god, I never meant that."
yes,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, and I remember just like tearing up as a 9-year-old, just being like, I want to be able to make somebody feel like this. I mean, not miserable, but like feel the emotion.
I think that was one of the first movies when I saw the special effects. I was like, damn.
Yup.
Like Tim Curry plays darkness.
Yup.
Like
Oh, yeah.
the devil character.
And then as I started to get more into like the technicalities of movies and I started noticing more things like lighting and stuff like that, I became like more in my head. I was like, dude, I can do this. Like if I just learn it, I can do this. I'm going to make a great movie one day. And like I take a page from you because you're always speaking things into the universe.
Speaking things into existence.
So like every day now I'm like, I'm going to make a great movie one day. I'm
Hell
just like,
yeah.
I'm going to make a great movie one day.
honestly, I 100% believe that because like no matter how it happens, I remember like one time I told myself like, you know what, like when my obviously so when my dad was just like, yeah, you can make movies, I told myself I'm not going to stop until I can see a movie I make on the silver screen.
Exactly.
And I don't care how it happened, but it happened even with CC7D. It might be a 4-minute movie.
No, but
I watched a movie I made with this dude over here on the silver screen for the first time, and I will say, yeah, Eric Alanis right there. When we first started Homebrew, that I remember I walked in there and I was like, I was by myself the first day, and I was sitting at House of Rock and I had my cell phone. I'm like, we're gonna film a movie with an iPhone and we're gonna make it happen. And then Eric was just like, hey man, you want to make a movie? Like I guess we'll go join your team, or like I want to join your team or whatever. Like let's make a team. Let's get something going. And he's like, I have all this stuff. Me and Chris are interested. You want to do this? Let's start a team. So it's 2017, and we were like, dude.
Was it that long ago? Really?
Yeah, we walked over to the bar, and
What,
Eric was just like,
4
what are
years
we going to
ago?
name this
3
team?
years.
And we saw a sign that said something like Homebrewed in Texas. It goes a certain beer. It's like Homebrewed in Texas at House of Rock.
Homebrew.
And we're like, let's just call it
Oh,
Homebrew.
yeah, that's right.
Homebrew in Texas.
We're like, let's just call it Homebrew.
Yeah, because the intro you had to have a team name, and
Yeah.
we sat there for like freaking 10 minutes, like, Wiener Shakers.
Oh my
Yeah, we had like the
this
weirdest.
and
Yeah,
that.
we had the weirdest name.
And then I was like, I don't
Y'all
care. I was
would.
like, Kevin, you just pick whatever. And then Kevin's like, or was it Chris? I don't remember. Someone
probably
like
Chris, I
saw
think,
the
yeah.
poster and it said like something homebrew. And
it said like a beer, a certain beer, homebrewed in Texas, and I was like,
someone was like,
Homebrew.
Homebrew.
I love that too because it's
Oh, yeah.
cute. It's like because we're homebrewed,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like we're from Corpus, we're homebrewed.
Yeah,
we
so
know each
everything
other
kind
from
of fit
home.
in, and it kind of became its own meeting after a while, and it's like, but
It's cute.
yeah, that's
And then it rhymes with crew, so it's homebrew crew.
Homebrew
Homebrew
crew.
crew.
Yeah.
We have
See, I just remember
t-shirts.
like getting very excited when I think I was really following you at the time, and you were posting about like, oh, I'm actually gonna like make like short horror films and stuff like that. I was like, fuck yeah, like let's go. What do you, like I want to see it. Let's go.
Yeah, that was really cool. When
Yeah.
finally
Your
got to do that.
conceptual photography caught my eye. I remember seeing it like way before I even started modeling or anything like that. So I think I remember seeing a picture in like 2015.
Yeah, probably.
And I was just like, whoa, who is this guy and why is he in Corpus? I was just like,
Yeah,
who
that's the
is
thing. You
this
see
guy?
something good, and you're like, this is not Corpus.
And then I worked with Chris one
Oh,
time,
yeah.
but it never saw the light of day. It just
I think like one image did. Yeah.
it just didn't. Yeah, it was whatever. But that was like, honestly, Chris was kind of like my step into like this whole thing, because if it wasn't for Chris meeting with me and like doing the shoot and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have ever hung out with you guys.
No, I had my eye on you already.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
She like fangirl
No.
for a second. You see the blush? She
No, me-
blushed so hard. when you said that.
I actually, Chris
great.
had like we had talked about it, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna reach out to that Emily Thyme like this, and I think she has like this
Time.
look for time for something I want to do. And he's like, oh, well, I was thinking about it too. I was like, oh, go for it. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff like planned already or whatever. So that's kinda,
Yeah.
but yeah, I know like yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
think-
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Sappy. You all are
Right?
gay.
Everything. Yeah. Look at us.
Gay.
Who'd have thought?
I mean,
Not
Who'd
me.
have thought? Not me.
But
What is that from? What is that from? Not me.
the hot ones.
In the
Yeah.
Apollo interview.
Who'd have thought? Not
But
me.
for me, I didn't never really thought about making movies ever in my entire life until I always wanted to do like makeup. Like I wanted to go to Tom Savini School of Horror.
Oh, same.
But I never thought about being behind the camera until I met Kevin, and Kevin would always talk about making movies. And then I wasn't into photography. I always kind of had a thing for images, like
Yeah.
lighting and shadows and cool compositions. Back then, I didn't know what any of that was or what it
Would
was
you
called.
just like take cool photos on your phone? Or
Yeah,
something
or
like that?
back then, like just we would have Kodak cameras or whatever, like.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
So you get
Oh,
phone
yeah.
developed.
But eventually, when I finally got a camera, and I always appreciated light contrast and all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So then I got into photography or whatever. But I would always try to put these images together that were like a still from a movie,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, man, I'll never make movies, but I can at least like create a still from a movie. But then Kevin, forever from when I first met him, was always like, I'm going to film school and I'm going to make a movie. Like someday I'm going to make a movie and I'm going to make like all the time at Blockbuster. Like how cliche is that, right?
Aw. You like sparked him.
But no, he was like posted this thing on Facebook that I think it was something like, I don't care, I'm doing this or whatever. And then I told Chris, I was like, hey dude, Kevin's gonna do that thing, should we try it out? It seems pretty cool or whatever. And Chris was like, yeah, I'm down. So then I reached out to Kevin, and then after that, it's just
dude, you have no idea like the sigh of relief
The elation.
whenever because I literally walked in there and I had a iPhone and that was it. Like I was like, I'm gonna do this by myself with my iPhone. And I was sitting there in House of Rock already, and then Eric, I got like a buzz on my phone, and Eric was like, "Hey, dude, like, are you over there right now? Do you want to start a team?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, like, you
my
have no idea, like, the
God.
sigh of relief." I'm like, "Dude, I have people now that want to help me." And
Hell yeah.
I was so psyched because I was like, "This is gonna be bad."
and then I got nominated for best cinematography.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you
first
did.
year,
For
Fuck
Ringo.
yes,
yeah,
you
Wait,
did.
wait.
Ringo of all of
Hell
them.
And
yeah.
then he won.
Danny
Eventually.
Summers.
Yeah, Danny Summers, he
Danny
won it.
Summers.
Dude, your face whenever they called your name, you were literally like,
I was jumping up and down.
dude, I was so
That was
happy.
Honestly,
crazy.
I was like tearing up.
Dude, me
Yeah.
It was
too.
I was like so psyched.
And then everybody
Like-
came up on stage. I was like,
Yeah, whenever they called Eric's name, I freaked out. I was there like in the crowd.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the fuck? That's
Yeah.
crazy. I still can't
Dude.
believe it. Like,
I know
It was
your
like-
face,
it was
you're just like-
thanks. the award is right there. Yeah. Right there.
oh, yeah.
Best cinematography. Yeah.
Hey.
Off camera, but it's right there.
Yeah.
right under me and Chris hugging, like it's prom night.
Oh my god. Yeah. What the heck?
Look at that.
He's cosplaying George Romero.
That's
No.
awesome.
I feel that though, like how you say like your photography, it was like you wanted it to be like a still out of a movie. That's kind of like what I strive for too. I love everything to look like it's part of a story. Like you're
Yeah.
like, where did this picture come from? Like you can make your own story to it almost.
It might be like cheesy to say, but you always kind of strive for that kind of cinematic look.
Mm-hmm.
that you have.
Exactly. Just that, like, what is this? Right
Yeah.
I think all photography should strive to be something like that. But
Exactly.
speaking of, man, you know who's really good? That's really been inspiring me lately is Gregory Crutzen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Of course, Jake knew that.
he's
I know. I'm like,
Sorry.
Fucking
who's
nerd.
that?
he's basically
Nerd.
a photographer that has fucking.
Oh, is that the one you were scared to share?
No. This is someone else. But this person is also very inspired by Gregory Crutzen.
Oh.
But Gregory Crutzen is a photographer that basically has like indie budget film budgets for a photo, and he only releases like one still from a set. Like, and his budgets for these sets, dude, are like fucking like probably in the like the $40,000 to $50,000 range. With all the lights they run out, they close down parts of a city. But he's known for his wide landscapes. But in that landscape, he'll put people in there. Maybe they might be like that big. And the photos,
It's all about
you know?
scale for him.
But it's he's telling all these little stories in these frames. You know what I mean? But it's dude, you should look him up. I've shared his work a couple times on Instagram or whatever. But it's just really inspiring to see what you can do with a photo. You know what I mean? Like much more than just a tight portrait with bokeh in the back. You know? So
Feel that.
Call me out, why don't you?
Shots fired. I know, like, right?
yeah, I was just talking about your work in the last podcast. I think. Right?
Yeah.
I was like,
We were praising you.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Oh,
Jake's
thank you.
so good. And I was like, yes. I
You
was like,
guys.
I wish he posted more work. That's all.
You've been posting a lot more.
A lot more
lately.
recently, yeah. Well, it's mainly because like a lot of the stuff that I've done lately, I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of it, but it's not out yet, so I can't.
Oh, so you can't
post
share it.
Yeah, like the stuff that I sent you of me and Emily did a short.
Yeah.
God, it's been
Couple weeks.
pushing a month, something like that.
Yeah. When's that gonna come out?
We want to put out for Halloween.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
dang, you're gonna have
hopefully
two movies
soon.
drop on Halloween then.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
I want to put out for Halloween too. You know what I'm saying?
But Emily
Get it, guys?
persevered and suffered alongside us in Calallen in
Mosquito.
Texas with mosquitoes.
Yeah, I think I
and
saw
heat.
some
It
BTS
was
photos of that.
so
Mm.
bad. I'm talking like inside, because we were filming inside of the car, right? So the windows are down so that we can hear the calls and like the camera can get in and stuff. There's like mosquitoes inside the windshield,
Oh no.
like in a swarm. I was sitting there with the other lead actor guy, and he turns around to the back and he's like, "Oh, don't look behind you." And of course I do, right? And I'm just like, "Why?" And I turn around and there's like it's thick with mosquitoes.
Thick
Like
with
you
two
could do
Cs.
this. Like I did this and I hit like all these mosquitoes.
Y'all didn't have off?
Disgusting. We did.
It didn't
but
do anything.
The numbers, they overwhelmed us, Eric.
I'm just gonna
I believe
say.
it, yeah.
I'm just
They
gonna say.
fucking outnumbered us.
I'm just gonna say nobody laughed at my put out for Halloween thing.
I looked at you.
What are
You
talking
did.
about?
Very
Oh, you're
sweet,
gonna
yeah.
have. Oh, because he said you're gonna be putting out.
I said I like to put out for Halloween.
Okay.
Cue the laughter.
Oh, you're so. Funny.
I was gonna say.
All right, and then I also said thick with two seats for the mosquitoes.
Oh, they were.
All right,
were.
cue laughter.
That's
Thanks,
the laugh
guys.
track.
I don't get that.
I'm gonna and
Just put a laugh track in there.
so embarrassing, guys. I gotta keep these jokes in here.
That's why
we
I
got
just
about,
don't tell jokes.
We got about 5 minutes left though.
No,
5
we
minutes.
don't. We got more.
You see, it hurt.
No,
Never wants it to end.
Yeah,
Cause I have fun.
Kevin's editing this
Sorry.
one.
yeah.
This is a lot
We
of
got
fun.
5 minutes left though.
This is so much better than the first podcast I was on. I was blackout drunk. Stupid. Everybody
So-
that tells me, "Oh yeah, I'm about to watch the podcast you're on," I'm like, please don't. I'm just like, just don't.
So whenever that
Yeah,
came
but-
out, I watched it, and I remember I was in Kansas at the time,
Please stop.
and I just remember
No,
like
Jake,
texting
stop.
Kevin going, "Emily was really drunk, wasn't she?"
Fuck.
And he was like, "Yeah, she was."
Grew
Not
up
that
in
it
the
was a bad
backyard.
thing. It was really fun to listen
Oh,
to.
it
It
that's
was
yeah.
really fun.
That's because you didn't even see the like
Dude,
second hour.
oh
to
my
that entire
god.
thing.
Yeah, there was
Oh.
like 2 hours of that.
About
She-
2.5 hours.
she told me about what happened, and I was like,
Oh
There's
man, it was
extended
so
episodes for,
bad.
like, yeah.
It was
Um,
so bad. I'm so sorry, guys.
I will say I didn't get to talk about the crow like I wanted to, but you know what? Like it's whatever. I feel like this has happened so many
You
times.
still have like what, 3 minutes?
No,
Go.
I love the crow. Everything about it. We'll talk about it in the next episode. On one of the next episodes.
Never fails.
But at that, this is the end. So
This is the end, my friend.
Beautiful
my
friend.
only friend.
The end.
end. Are you doing the Doors too?
of everything
Yes, he
that
is.
stands the end.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Thank you for
Okay.
viewing episode. We don't know what episode this is, but thank you for watching, and we'll
8.
see you guys next week.
8. See you next week.
It feels
8.
weird to say goodbye, but this is goodbye.
See you in November.
See you
Yeah,
later.
this is the last October episode.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Everyone say bye and wave
Bye.
at the camera.
Bye.
Bye.
That sounded beautiful. Good harmony.
And
guys.
cut.